Hello. Today we will be talking about adjective clauses, but before we start talking about them, we're going to do a little exercise. So let's take a look at our sentence here. We have a basic sentence, subject, verb, object. I bought a shirt. We have our subject, verb, object. And what part of speech is this? This is a noun. It's a noun, and it's working as the object in the sentence. Well, how can I give you more information about this noun? Well, maybe I decide to tell you that I bought a new shirt. So not just a shirt. Now we have more information about the noun, and it describes shirt. What part of speech is new? It's an adjective. It's telling us more information about the shirt. We have our noun, shirt, and then we've got new shirt to describe the shirt. We have an adjective here. It's giving us more information about shirt. It's not just a shirt, it's a new shirt. What if I want to give you even more information? Well, maybe I could say that I bought a fancy new blue shirt. In this case, we still have our main noun. I still bought a shirt. That is the thing that I bought. This is the object. But in this case, I have all of these adjectives before to give you a lot more information about the shirt. All of these things are giving us information. They're all describing this one noun, shirt. Let's take a look at our next example. I bought a fancy new blue shirt. It matches your shirt. What matches your shirt? My shirt. The fancy new blue shirt matches your shirt. Okay, how could I combine these sentences? What if I want to take this information about my shirt and put it into here? Can I do that? Well, maybe. I could say, I bought a matching fancy new blue shirt. In this case, this one is also an adjective. And it's in, I need a comma here. It's in with all of our other adjectives, all of which are giving us more information about this shirt that I bought. Still, the thing that I bought is a shirt, and we have all of these adjectives to describe a shirt. We can change this sentence, it matches your shirt, into just matching. Well, what do we lose here? We lose a little bit of information about what it matches with. We don't know if it matches with the car, or if it matches with the room, or if it matches with my shoes. We don't know. So we lose a little bit of information here, but in this case, it's maybe possible to just say matching. However, if we look at another example, we have I bought a fancy new blue shirt. It looks like Bruno Mars' shirt. I'm going to move this up so that we can see. Is there an easy way to say that my shirt looks like Bruno Mars' shirt? Can I say, let's take a look. I'm going to skip all of these adjectives for now. I'll come back to that. Can I say I bought a looks like Bruno Mars shirt. Shirt? Can I say that? Can I take this looks like Bruno Mars shirt and make that into an adjective before shirt? Looks like Bruno Mars shirt? No, I can't. I cannot take that sentence and make it into an adjective before. I can't do that. It's not allowed in English. Can I make an easy adjective like I did with matching out of this sentence, out of this part? Can I make this into an adjective easily? No, not really. Not without losing some important information. So in English, we have a way to combine these two sentences, and that way is called by using an adjective clause. We all know that a clause is always a subject and verb, and these are called adjective clauses because they work like an adjective. They give more information about a thing. They work like an adjective. In this case, we're going to use one of our adjective clause keywords. I'll just try that. And it combines our sentences. I bought a fancy, new, blue shirt. This is still our noun. That looks like Bruno Mars' shirt. What looks like Bruno Mars' shirt? My fancy new blue shirt looks like Bruno Mars' shirt. In this case, our second example here, this whole thing is giving us more information about shirt. It works like an adjective, just like fancy shirt, new shirt, blue shirt, shirt that looks like Bruno Mars' shirt. This part works the same. It has the same job or the same function as these other adjectives, and so we call these adjective clauses. Let's take a look in our book at some of the rules for using adjective clauses and how to make adjective clauses. We are looking at page 41 in our green supplement that's called Grad Grammar Supplement. And we're looking at these pages are taken from Grammar and Beyond 3. If we look at the bottom of the page, on page 41, we will see identifying subject-relative clauses. Right now, we are not going to pay attention to this part about identifying. We will talk about identifying and non-identifying a little bit later, so don't pay attention to that. But subject-relative clause is the same as subject-adjective clause. Relative clause and adjective clause are the same thing. They are just two different names for the same thing. So you can call it a relative clause. You can also call it an adjective clause because it works like an adjective. It doesn't matter what you call it. They're all the same thing. I usually call them adjective clauses because they work like an adjective. They give us more information about a noun. Let's take a look down here at our explanation. Relative clauses modify, which means they define, describe, identify, or give more information about a noun. In a subject-relative clause, the relative pronoun is the subject of the information about the noun it modifies. And as I said, we will get into this identifying idea a little bit later on. Right now, we're just going to talk about subject. All right. I go to the gym. A gym. The gym creates its own electricity. In this case, we see that gym is the thing that is doubled. I say gym twice, and instead of starting a new sentence with the word that I just ended with, I'm going to connect these two sentences to make my writing a little bit more complex. I go to a gym that creates its own electricity. In this case, this is our adjective clause. We have a subject, and the subject is the keyword. And we have a verb. We know that a clause always must have a subject and verb. In this case, we have a subject and a verb. What does this action create? What is the thing, who, or what is the thing that does this verb, create? The gym creates. But instead of saying I go to a gym, gym creates, or instead of making two different sentences, we use this word. This is our grammar word, and it holds the place of the subject. It tells me that I'm referring to the noun that I already talked about. We're going to turn the page. Is the pronoun. As we said on the previous page, this pronoun is working as the subject for the verb that's after it. It's in the place of the subject. Use who or that for people. Who or that for people. And use which or that for things. So who can be a person? That can be referring to a person. Double subject. Let's take a look. People that exercise can use special machines to create electricity, not people that they exercise. In this case, this is a subject. The people exercise. We have an adjective clause here. This word is working as the subject, and this is our verb. So we cannot have the word they because it would be two different subjects. And then if we look at our main clause, this one is our subject, and here is our main clause verb. Special machines to create electricity. People exercise. So in this case, we have a clause, a subject-verb, inside of our main sentence. And this subject-verb gives us more information about this noun, people. Which people? Oh, the people that exercise. Not the people that don't exercise. Not the people that teach. Not the people that swim. These people, the people that exercise, and so the whole thing with the adjective become the subject for this verb, can use. And keep in mind, this exercise is not connected with this next verb, can use. It's people that exercise. They, these people, can use. And in an identifying clause is essential. These people, these specific people, in this case we've got our adjective clause here, often recycle their garbage. Which people often recycle their garbage? People who care about the environment. This is a specific group of people. The whole thing is our subject. It's like saying the care adjective before our noun because it's too complex. So we must use an adjective clause, but still we're giving more information about these people. Which people? These people, these specific people who care about the environment. They are the ones that usually recycle their garbage. If we look at the other example, this next example right here, the school uses the electricity. Well, which electricity? All electricity? Well, in this case, we're talking about specific electricity. We can see that with the word the. And we've got electricity that comes from the exercise machines in the gym. This is a specific kind of electricity. It's not all electricity. It's not any electricity. It's not the electricity from the power plant. It's electricity from the exercise machines. And so this clause is giving us more information about this noun, electricity. Which kind of electricity? The electricity that comes from the exercise machines. The verb in the relative clause must agree with the noun that it modifies. In this case, if we look at our example, someone, the word someone is singular. We know that someone is, someone knows, someone supports the environment. And here we have someone that supports the environment, recycles. Here's our main clause, verb. This one is our adjective clause verb. This is our adjective clause subject. And this dark part, this is our adjective clause, telling us more information about which someone. It doesn't matter which person, we don't know exactly, but anyone, someone that supports the environment. Or you could also say who, someone who supports the environment. This type of person, someone who supports the environment, does this action recycle. The whole thing is the subject of this verb, recycle. Many people that support the environment recycle. In this case, we've got our adjective clause, which is describing people. People is plural. And so our verb is recycle. In this one we have the S because it agrees with someone. And in this one we do not have an S because it agrees with people. Because this is the noun that is the main part of the subject for recycle. So we need to agree with the noun. All right. Right now, while we are here, people power is a kind of, and this is our noun. Well, what kind of energy? Give me more information about this energy. What's important about the energy? People power is a kind of energy that creates electricity. Energy that creates electricity, this is our noun with an adjective clause after it. This is still our object in our sentence. This is our noun. And this part in the dark that creates electricity is giving us more information about energy and what that energy does. Use an identifying relative clause in definitions, especially with words like anyone, people, someone, something. I would like you in your book, I would like you to add the word way. I would like you to add the word reason. I would like you to add the word person. I would like you to add the word idea. So these are general nouns. I see a lot of students that put something like, this is a good way. A good way for what? What does that mean? Give me more information about this noun, way. Give me more information about the reason. Give me more information about the person. Give me more information about the idea. You can also add the word thing. Thing is a noun that doesn't give me any information. Urbanization is a thing. Well, yes. What kind of thing? Actually, urbanization would probably be an idea, but that's okay. So anytime you're using these general nouns that don't give us any information, it's a good idea to add an adjective clause to help us understand what kind of way, what kind of reason. Give us more information about which person. Let's take a look at these two examples. We've got one example here and another example here. Green energy is something. Okay, fine. Green energy is something. Great. To give me more information about something. It's modifying this kind of noun. Yes, it gives me more information about energy, but if we look at the grammar, this is actually giving me more information about the word something. It's a beautiful something. It's an amazing something. Or it's a something which doesn't hurt the environment. So we're giving more information about this general noun, something, to help us understand the idea of green energy. If we look at example number 2, environmentalists are people. Okay, great. I see ist. I know that ist always means people. So if you give me a definition of environmentalists are people, that actually doesn't tell me any information. What kind of people? Where do they work? What do they do? I need more information to understand this word. Environmentalists are people who care about the environment. Environmentalist, but if we look at the grammar, it's only modifying, it's only an adjective for people. They're the kind of people who care about the environment. So this is our subject relative clause. We can see in all of these examples, I'll get a new piece of paper. In all of the examples on the page, we can see that our keywords here are all working as the subject for the verb in these adjective clauses. All of these keywords are working as the subject. We have that support, that come, who care, that exercise, which doesn't, who care. So if you want to make another note about the form in part 2.1, you could make a note right here. Subject, keywords, especially if you come from a Chinese background or some other Asian languages. I hear this from a lot of my Asian students. You cannot use what as an adjective clause. So if you think that will be a problem for you, you need to write the word what and cross it out. Who, that, and which work as the subject. Those are the subject keywords for our adjective clauses. No other words work as a keyword subject in an adjective clause. Who refers to people. That can refer to people, things, ideas, or anything. And which only works for ideas, or things. It cannot work for people. If you need to make a note about that,